Kitties! Welcome to another news review of Hello Kitty Island Adventure. We are going to look at what the devs said in the official Discord, and also we have an exclusive interview of Logan Beru, the director of marketing at Sunblink, and I'm going to show you two cool things that I bought. Let's go. The interview is from Vice and it says Logan Beru, director of marketing, dishes on Hello Kitty Island Adventure and how it became a cozy game icon. As always, I will put the link to the full article in the description so you can go read all the parts that I've missed. How did the licensing agreement for this particular game come to be? Originally, Apple was hoping to make a Sanrio game and asked us what we would want to do with the Hello Kitty brand. We created a cozy adventure pitch and prototype and shared it with Apple and Sanrio. Everyone was immediately on board. Since then, we've been working together and have been able to create something incredible. While Hello Kitty had been the star of her own games before, none of them have had quite the impact that Hello Kitty Island Adventure had. What was the team's reaction when they saw how well the game did on Apple Arcade and console and PC? We've been thrilled to see the positive reception, and we're so grateful for all the love from players and critics. We knew we had a dynamite game on our hands even before we launched it on Apple Arcade, but it always feels like a gamble in this industry. Will people see it for what it is and recognize these beautiful things we made? Or will something about the moment or the content just fail to gel? In our case, we've been overwhelmed with positive feedback. We understand that a cozy game with an earnest and cute aesthetic could be easy for some people to dismiss at first glance, but a lot of hard work and heart went into crafting a world that players will want to return to time and time again. It's been encouraging to see people respond to that care and make this support known to us. We want to keep delighting players as long as possible. While there is already a ton of content and plenty of things to do in Hello Kitty Island Adventure, are there any plans to release more content in the future, especially now that consoles are in consideration? We have plans for more content in the future. We already have a long list of seasonal holidays and events lined up throughout the year, which will all be free updates to the base game. Also, we want the world to feel alive with new things to discover constantly. We also have larger content packs, both free and paid, on the roadmap. Lastly, since Hello Kitty Island Adventure has been live on Apple Arcade for a longer stretch of time, the game has more content available there, which will eventually make its way over to the console and PC versions. I was so happy to see that a jump button was present in Hello Kitty Island Adventure and that some light platforming elements were included. What went into the process of adding this to the game? Exploring the island and platforming elements were all in the game from the very first prototype. We found a lot of fun early in development with the climbing mechanics, underwater diving, racing, and floating and jumping around from place to place. So that was definitely part of our original intention. Figuring out how to manage the seamless open world and technical aspect of player navigation was a considerable engineering challenge, but it was well worth the effort. When it comes to making a cozy game in this style, there are some massive competition out there. What do you think, beyond the branding aspect, makes Hello Kitty Island Adventure stand out from the crowd? What makes the game stand out is that it's essentially a blend of genres. It's a cozy adventure game. We took the nurturing and ritual of life sims games and mixed them with the excitement and exploration of open world adventure games. While the cozy aspect is deep in the game's DNA, I think the surprising blend of mechanics is really what makes it unique. Our design team has all kinds of flair in mind when creating the world, and we wanted to ensure we had something for everyone. Quest and story were things we felt weren't being emphasized as much in other cozy games. Quest gave us as a studio a chance to really get to know the Sanrio universe and bring in details about both popular and lesser known characters, which has been a tremendous opportunity. The Sunblink team cares so deeply about what goes into each and every update. Whether finding a way to spotlight a long lost Sanrio deep cut character, we love your big challenges, or bringing the top requests from our Discord server to life, everyone's passion makes the game experience feel rich. The character customization aspect of Hello Kitty Island Adventure is one of the best parts of the game. Are there any plans to add additional types of animals, and what went into choosing the animals we can run around as? It allows us to gently nudge players away from the idea of a character avatar as a one-on-one representation of oneself, freeing it up to be more exploratory or aspirational. Suit in pants, unicorn one day, lop-eared bunny in a dress the next, and a large cat inside a lemon after that. Sanrio's characters are so varied, charismatic, and inclusive in their design language that many players can see themselves, and hopefully even in a new light, in the island adventure style. All that said, we have a long list of new animals would love to provide as avatar options, and you can expect to see more soon. You heard it here first. So in the official Discord, there's a feedback request with the types of animals that you would like to see. So I'll let you go for yourself, read the rest of the article, and now I'm going to show you a few things before we jump into the Discord. I wanted to do some pizza, so I bought at Flying Tiger, I think, a pizza cutting board. For some reason I was not able to find this kind of thing secondhand, or I don't know, on Facebook Marketplace. I thought I would. I could not, so I had to buy a brand new, and this is just for display, just to look good. I think I'll use the back though because of those lines, and just to make cute pictures of the pizzas I make in Hello Kitty Island Adventure. And something super excited, you've heard about Matilda, my editor, and she's so into these cards, and she made me be into these cards. So basically they're like trading cards, like Pokemon cards, and I've been buying a whole display with 18 of these boosters, and on stream for every $5 of donations I will open one pack on live stream. So if you're excited to see those gorgeous cards, here are some of the ones that I already got. Let's open them together if you want to support my channel financially and help me make more videos for you. Now let's jump to the Discord. Pristine said, I know this game was originally on the phone, but did you all hope to bring this game to different platforms when the game first came out? I guess for each version you'll also have to make a brand new game too, right? Keep up the good work and thanks. Chelsea said, we planned from the beginning that the game should be more or less platform agnostic, given the broad range of devices that you can play Apple Arcade on, as a desire to bring into even more after. We use Unity, so it's definitely not like starting from scratch for each platforms, but they do all have their own non-trivial overhead and nuances. And remember, there is a Grateful Vibe channel in the official Discord, and Chelsea said, anyways, oops, just realized we're in Grateful Vibes, so I'll bring this back around with an I'm grateful for all the folks who has been so kind and generous here and elsewhere, and the understanding of the community. A feedback that says, too harsh assumption that everything wrong is a mod issue or a time travel. People were concerned about some assumption that some bugs are automatically linked to time travel or something like that. And here's Chelsea's answer. Hey all, we do moderate this server very strictly, specifically because it is meant to be an all ages, family friendly game, Discover server and IP. We also deeply value a spoiler-free option for those that wish to experience the game as it is intended. Anywhere else on the internet you can stumble across spoilers, so having one place where they're carefully controlled is important. We have no intention of changing that overall ethos. Occasionally we make mistakes, and we have process like appeal forums in place where that happens. These instances are resolved privately, so please don't make assumptions about how things are handled or exacerbate the drama with false comparison. There are future plans to have a large collection area for fish similar to the nature preserve for critters, but not on the near-term roadmap. Would it be the thing we have behind Pochaco that would be an aquarium? Or is it on a totally different place? Some building that we have not found at all, because this is one full building that we have not seen any plans for at all. And also, Chelsea said it's for the very future. We also thought it was a hotel when they said that the cabin size will not be an issue and then we could upgrade cabins, so probably disregard that, but you never know. A feedback that says, make the lotus silk recipe available, and VGMX said the lotus plant should have been made available to buy from Tuxedo-san for every single player on the first day of the event. And Chelsea said, I think this was the intent, give crafting plan on day one, but this event was the first one that I had to get in with the multi-platform work, so it's basically 6+ months months out of date from our best practices, and we can't hotfix events because of the platform restrictions. As of now, if you want to get the crafting plan for the Lotus silk, you need to get it from somebody else's store or wait until it comes to your store. But once you have the crafting plans for the kimonos that you can buy in the store or get from the Logan bonus, you'll be able to craft the kimonos anytime. So it's okay if it's towards the end of the event that you get that, but I totally understand that you want to dress in kimonos right now to celebrate this event. But also this event lasts 5 weeks, so I'm sure within the first week you should be able to get it, don't worry. A feedback that says clothing stand and cabin space limit. And the OP said that before you were able to put a clothing stand so close to each other, and now apparently it's taking 5 spaces because you can put up to 5 items on it. And Chelsea said, sadly, we have to count them as 5 because if someone put clothes on all mannequins, their game would crash if we counted them as 1. We only added the restriction in after pretty rigorous testing on min-spec devices, and it was the only way to make it happen. What's 15 said, I wish you make an event for Ramadan or Eid for us. And Chelsea said, we're continuing to rotate through visual themes for different events. You can expect to see some that have Egyptian style lanterns and star/moon themes in the future. Yeah, this is exciting. A feedback that says, time skip options from Bunny. I love this game doesn't have time travel, don't get me wrong, but sometimes quests are locked until the next day, or I don't like what's in my store, but I want new stuff that day. Maybe there can be an item we can get where we can skip to the next day. Have it be a rare or hard to craft thing so it's not always an option to have. Or maybe have my Melody give one to you once a month like how she gives the friendship bouquet every weekend. And Chelsea said, I actually asked if this was possible a while ago, and for quests specifically it isn't. Something that reshuffles shop offerings is interesting though. Swampy, can you ticket this ID? Cool, that's very cool. A feedback that says quick option to ask NPC to pick up items. Chelsea said this is releasing soon on arcade and will follow on PC/Switch. I think they said that it would be pushed, so hopefully sometimes in the 2.5. A feedback by Yuka Tangada says add ranks and time to challenge courses. They said I strongly think we need to see what time and rank we managed to get in every course. I made an edit of what I had in mind. And Chelsea said, this is cool. Swampy, can you make a UX ticket? I think the person did not realize that the flag would change already depending the color, but adding the time is something really cool, and that means that now we can try to beat our own times or do something like that, so that's very cool. A feedback by Zoot that says upgrade character hats. And Chelsea said, I read it wrong the first time and thought you were saying you should be able to craft hats that combine character abilities, like a mix-a-top hat with a big challenges hat to get a combo of both. That was a wild idea. Then I reread and you actually suggested is more in scope. We've had this request several times, so definitely aware of the desire for more portability of the character abilities. Basically, what Zoot asked is that if you can craft the top hat, you would put it on your head and maybe have another also character with you or something like that. But the fact that you have the hat, you have the character ability too. Feedback by Batsy that says friends outfits, more outfits for visitors and friends. I would love their normal outfits just to use the clothes I can buy to dress everyone up. Visitors would use some more clothes besides the island wear. And Chelsea said, not only would Sanrio have to approve every single possible combination, not possible, but for every single clothing item would have to make a custom version for all the Sanrio characters that have unique body styles. Tuxedo Sam's top hat among others. Unfortunately, this is prohibitively expensive. A feedback that says toggle on off animal tail. Josie Don Jr. said, I really appreciate the addition to let us toggle off and visibility of character animal ears with hats that would otherwise obscure them. Can you make the same feature for full body outfits and animal tails? I like to wear dresses but still have my animal tail. Thank you for considering this. And Chelsea said, Swampy, I think we have a ticket for this already if you can find ads. So it might be coming. There was several feedback with a request of changing the camera angles. And Swampy said, from my understanding, we unfortunately unfortunately can't do this due to performances. It would require a different infrastructure for how we display objects in the world. But regardless, thank you for the feedback, we appreciate it. And Chelsea said, for what it's worth, the flowers are exceptionally cheap for us to put out. All the flowers you're seeing now were made in a few weeks early last year. So it isn't an issue of flowers taking up time from other features in development. We make as much of the quest area and feature content as we can each update. The goal is to always be quietly working on more longer-term deep features that give players areas to play and play richly, but it all takes time. The flower feature took 3+ updates, so 18+ weeks. Imagination Cafe took a similar amount of time. Now we're working on even larger features, but the trade-off is smaller features going into in between milestones. Larger features than craft any food possible and flowers. I'm so eager to understand what it is. I think they hinted of decorating outside at some point. I know it's going to be insanely hard for them to do that. I don't even know if it's on their roadmap or not anymore, but that would be the new incredibly crazy things that would be amazing. Jay Crazy said, did the flower color order change in our inventories? And Steph said, I was wondering the same thing, but you look like they changed. It will take some time to get used to. And Chelsea said, no, seriously, it shouldn't have changed. This sort is so fragile. Color sort should always be the same everywhere. I'll get it changed back. And then Steph said, I was wondering if maybe the possible implementation of black flower might have been why. And Chelsea said, no comment. Honestly, I've seen that the main color and the tints were separate, and I thought it was on purpose because of the black, so apparently not. Interesting. Yeah, and I don't know if you remember about the flower bounties. If you guys are just discovering flowers and you probably are overwhelmed, I encourage you to check out my flower guides, and I'm also encouraging you to come to my flower live streams like the one that I'm filming later today. That will be in the past for you when you watch that, but where you can go and ask all sorts of flower questions. You're always anyway welcome to come to any live stream and ask flower questions, but when I'm specifically working on flowers I can show you better. We had the bounties, which were these 4 different flowers that we were supposed to try and make with the community, and we got 16 points, so 4 different points for 4 different flowers, and Chelsea chose each time 1 main flower and 3 secondary and honorable mentions for each of the flowers, so we can take a few information from that. It turns out that the first spot is not always the one that looked exactly more the same. Like for example, for me, I would definitely say that the teal and violet trim rose would match more of the number 2, but apparently they went for the ring rose. And also for the last one, they went for the iridescent bell button, which is so interesting, and actually it is very interesting. I did not even thought of that. But also what you can notice is that there's a gold gleam working for the number 4. There's also a dandelion working for the number 3, and also a global working for the number 2. So actually they are pretty flexible with the type of flower if you don't have that new flower yet. Also I thought that maybe we should have put like the first ones of the month or something like that, and no, one of the last one posted won first place for something. So you have the whole month to submit anything, and you can always go edit your own message to submit something else, and it will only count at the end of the month. So for example, I know that for the March one that I will show you in a second, there's a flower that's not here yet because it's only an event flower that's coming up, so that means that it will be more difficult to get the colors and everything that you want. So in the meantime, if you find another flower that looks a bit like that, you can use it in the meantime, and maybe it could even win points. And so my strategy question was that should I aim for exactly what themes the best matching for what I see in the picture, or should I go for something that nobody has done yet? And I think that going for like picking something else that I think that is also complicated. Yeah, for example, I wanted a warm pink and white trim dandelion, for example. I had this one already, but somebody had already published it, so that would have been counterproductive for me to submit this one. So I decided to aim for another one, like, I don't know, instead of warm pink, pink or blush or something like that. And so that would be as complicated for me as to go get another one exactly like the one, but also would probably get points, if you know what I mean. Yeah, this is the strategy that I'm going. But also I'm going to try, I'm filming this on March 4th, so that means that I'm starting from kind of the beginning of the month, and so not that many people posted photos yet, so I don't know if I keep monitoring and changing my IDs in the middle. We'll see how it goes, but I'm very excited about this. This is really cool. Awesome. So this is the new ones for March. It could be many different things actually. It could be a frost feather, or maybe it could count as ghost gleams. I don't know, maybe something different. So interesting. Another rose. Okay, this one can also be blue and I would say hot pink or even magenta. There's technically like 3 colors in this one, even white, so I'm not sure, but maybe different patterns will work, but definitely roses. This one will definitely be a penstemon, maybe not a trim, but maybe an ombre penstemon. And this one, I think they're called hapadils, and she teased it a while back and we've seen some previews, I think. So it's probably coming in a future event. It's not the one from this event because the springtime celebration does not have a flower. There's the flower color guide that does not have the last 2 flowers. Yeah, it does not have the last one that is on Caldera, the blaze bulb, but then it has the frost feathers. So if you guys need some help with the flowers already, this helps a lot. So if you're excited about maybe trying the flowers, there will be the flower guide over here and everything about the bounties and explaining how it works from the first bounty that you can look in the video over here. And remember, everybody can play cozy. Bye bye!